Hi everyone, happy Monday, and I am here to do my live cooking show for the week. So I'm going to be making baked chicken scampi today. I was looking for something that was kind of on the lower carb and veggie heavy and something different. So I just needed some kind of different spice today. So I think scampi is going to really do it for me. So if you are currently in a party, if you would post who your host is. If you are a host, post that you're a host. And thank you so much for hosting. If you're a past host, put that you're a past host. If you're in my VIP, please put that you're in my VIP. If you'd like to be in my VIP, type in Laura's Tasty Tidbits and you can join. So I'd love to have you there. And we have a special going on until like 7 tonight, 6, 7 tonight. So if you're interested in that, just shoot me a message. Okay, so I am going to be making baked chicken scampi, and I'm going to start. I've got my oven preheated at 425, and then I need flour in a shallow bowl, and I need to dip the chicken breast into it. So I'm going to get my flour. And I only need 3 tablespoons, which if you're doing keto, make sure that that fits with your lifestyle. So, okay, my 3 tablespoons. Okay, there's my lid. All right, and then I was kind of playing around. I'm like, as you probably know, if you've watched me do this, I prefer chicken thighs. Just because I think they're more flavorful, but I need them to be thin. So I was kind of playing around with this. So there are a couple ways to do this that I think are pretty easy. Is you can take the chicken thigh or even a chicken breast on the close and cut and then slice across it, and then it'll cut it into smaller pieces, which I thought was great. And then I was like, well, I have the meat tenderizer. So I was kind of like, let's see what happens with that. So just a couple of different ways to smash my chicken. Which that did a great job. I also tried it with like the prickly end, which worked well. But I want them to be about this size. So I'm going to take that out of there, pop that in there. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and use the meat tenderizer for the last one. That's kind of fun. So, I hope everybody's having a wonderful Monday. It is rainy and dark and ugly here in Ohio, and that and I don't jive well. So I'm like anxious for a minute of sun because, oh boy, man, it feels like dark and gloomy around here. I pop this into here so that I don't reuse anything that's had chicken on it. Okay, get these out of the way. And I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. Figure out what my next thing to do is. Okay, so next up, I'm placing the flour in a shallow bowl, dip each chicken breast into flour and coat each side and then set aside. And then I'm heating oil for 2 to 3 minutes, which I imagine I can probably go ahead and start doing that. Then it'll be ready. So I'm gonna use olive oil. I'm just gonna use a little bit, maybe a tablespoon. Get that in there. These pans are both from the Brilliance line, which I am loving. They're probably the best pans that I've ever had. In fact, they are the best pans that I've ever had in my life. So I'm really enjoying cooking with them. They are super even cooking, and they are so easy to clean, which I've had nonstick in the past of other brands that say that they're nonstick, and then the longer that you use them, the less nonstick they are. And I didn't necessarily know that there was something out there that actually did what it said it was supposed to. So, so it's quite nice. So I'm loving them. I came down this morning. My son had dinner on his own last night. We kind of, like, hubby and I were going to watch TV, and we were hanging out and not really hungry. So he ate on his own. I came down this morning, and all of the cookware was out, so he like made pasta and all this stuff using the cookware. And I love the new pots because they come with a lid on them that's a strainer, so you can make your pasta and then you don't have to use a strainer, which how fantastic is that? So if you're just popping on, I'm making baked chicken scampi. So I would love to know, maybe, hopefully you have weather where there is a sun shining, because I'm telling you, this like doom and gloom that we've got going outside, it is yucky. And yes, I know that it's February in Ohio, but last week was nice and I'm really ready for spring, I think. So, but I'm making baked chicken scampi, and I'm starting with chicken, and I'm using chicken thighs, and I squash them down. I cut some of them in half, and then some of them I used the meat tenderizer on them and made them smaller so that they cook nice and even. And I'm just putting a tiny bit of flour on them. That was 3 tablespoons. So if you're like, you know, kind of doing keto, it was 3 tablespoons for like 2 pounds of chicken. So make sure that you check to make sure that that's keto friendly for you. If it's not, you could probably do it with just an egg wash and not worry about the flour at all. So I would imagine that that would work as well. Okay, take this over here and check and see if my oil is hot. It does not look runny yet, and it looks like, based on what I'm working with right now, that's not going to be enough, so I'm going to put a little bit more oil in there. I've got chunks of floury chicken, gross things on my hands, so. Okay. Let me put a little bit more olive oil. I need to, we use this all the time these days, so I actually need to refill it before I use it again because there's not much in there. So I'm going for the bottle. So you know that your olive oil or oil that you're using is good to go, that it's the perfect temperature when it's kind of on the watery side. So this is getting close, but not quite there. So I'm going to take a look at my next set of instructions and get this chicken stuff out of here. Okay. All right. So while that's heating, brown the chicken on one side until it's lightly golden brown, 3 to 4 minutes, and then remove the chicken from the skillet. So I'm only doing one side. Let's see which tongs I want to use. Maybe these. Okay, one side for 2 to 3 minutes. Brown the chicken on one side until it's lightly golden. Okay, got it. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and get that in because I would imagine I will lose track of time and then my oil will be overdone. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in there 2 to 3 minutes until it's golden brown, and then I'm gonna take it out. See if it all fits in there. Added a lot of chicken. I think I was only supposed to use a pound of chicken. I ended up doing 2, so. It might fit. That's pretty good. Leave it there, and then let's see, use a plate or platter, maybe platter for the other chicken. Okay, so that'll have to come out and sit. Okay, so I'm going to say maybe 3 minutes. So Alexa, set a timer for 3 minutes for the chicken. And then I am going to put all of this, my son loves pasta, as I mentioned before. So I'm making penne for him. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my other pot. I've got it boiling and all ready to go. You can never tell how much is actually in there. So it never looks like very much when you're putting it into a gigantic pot. So, okay. So next I'm going to add the peppers and onions to the skillet and saute for 2 minutes. So I have my peppers here and I started to cut them because I knew it was going to take me a minute and I was trying to keep my video just a little bit shorter. So finished cutting this one. And I'm doing them in like fajita style. So I started to cut this up and I wanted to show you the scoop loop because I am finding myself like using this every week because I love to take peppers in my lunch, but I hate those little seeds. So you take the scoop loop and you like scoop around it and it gets, I got just a little bit that I missed, gets all of the white stuff like out of the middle, which is fantastic. I missed a couple of the seeds though. But it's got an awesome like serrated edge on both sides. It's also great for pumpkins, and it like zips through there and like whips that stuff out of there, which is fantastic. Okay, and there are my peppers, and then I need a red onion. So I'm gonna use a veggie wedger on that. Get that through there. Okay, let's zip right through. Make sure I get all the way to the bottom. That's probably what this is for. There we go. Okay, pays to do it correctly. And I've got my onions all wedged, which is like super fast. And so far no tears. We'll see how that lasts. Okay. So chicken has another 43 seconds. I'm going to need peppers and onions, which I've got done. This over here. Get my scraper. It'll like be all cleaned up by the time I finish. And then I need to whisk the broth half and half and scampi mix and butter in a medium bowl to create the sauce. So let's do medium bowl. This one. I bet that would be a good size. Okay, I need half a cup of chicken broth. Which I'm using low sodium. I like to kind of control, Alexa, stop. I like to control how much sodium I'm putting in. I really do like to salt things, but when I end up with, I'm going to do just a little bit extra because I did double on my chicken, so I probably should do a little extra on this too. Okay, so I did like 3/4 of a cup, so it looks like they're equal parts. So I'll do 3/4 of a cup of half and half as well. Kind of thought with the chicken, with there being some extra in there, it might need like 1 more minute. That was a chore to get into. Okay. Then I need 2 tablespoons of Scampi mix. I'm just going to use this whole thing. That looks like about 2 tablespoons to me. Ooh, that smells good. Okay. And then I need 2 tablespoons of butter melted, and I put that over here. That in there and melt it. Okay, and then I'm going to take my chicken off. It smells like it's cooking and it is nicely light brown on the bottom. That's great. I'll bring a piece over and show you. So, kind of nice like browning on the side. But because this is a bake, we're going to only cook it part way and then finish it in the oven. Okay, let's stick that in my clean me up pan. Okay, and then I'm doing onions, I think it was, yeah, peppers and onions to the skillet because it's already got the olive oil and a little bit of chicken and some flour in there already. I'm gonna pop all these in there. Alexa, set a timer for 6 minutes for the pasta. That was probably about 4 minutes ago, so that seems about right. Okay, and then it says to saute for 2 minutes. Well, that's not very long. I'm kind of thinking with the amount that I have in here, I'm going to want a little bit more than 2 minutes. So we'll kind of see how that goes. So, all right. So I need my butter in here to create my sauce. So I put that in for 20 seconds. I had it sitting on the counter for a little bit, but not enough to be ready on its own. Okay, then whisk it up. Or you could use the emulsion blender if you have the emulsion blender. That would work really nicely with this. Set aside. Place the chicken uncooked side down into the veggies and top with the sauce and bake for 8 to 10 minutes. So it's pretty easy. So I kind of think it needs a couple minutes. So I just wanted to talk to you just a tiny bit about the opportunity and joining my team. We are Team Rockstar, and we are part of a bigger team called the Bullet Train, and it's an amazing team to join. So if you've thought, I watch her videos and I could do that, you absolutely could, and I would absolutely love to show you. But I joined Pampered Chef originally just to pay my car payment, and we had to buy windows to replace in our house, and it was unexpected. So I was looking for another source of income kind of as COVID hit. So I jumped into Pampered Chef, and I earned all kinds of goodies to start off with. I earned a trip my first year and all kinds of things, plus a paycheck. So if that's something where you're going, oh, I think I might like that, it's definitely a lot of fun. So shoot me a message. I would love to chat. So if you do have questions about joining our team, just pop them in the chat or send me a private message. I would be happy to answer them. Okay, so I added peppers and the onions, and now I'm whisk this, and then I'm going to put chicken in first, and then I'm going to top with the sauce. Okay. All right, so it's uncooked down, so my brown side's up. Smells so good and super simple. Okay, I am not gonna lie, I did not expect that all to fit. So, but man, that's a huge pan. So that's awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to pour the sauce in. I don't know if I need to go around it, or is it just fill in the gaps? I think there was a big blob of butter there. Let's see if I can get that out of there. I don't want to miss out on that. Okay. So it smells really good. So now I'm going to stick it in the oven. I just don't want to lose that last little blob of butter in there. Okay, now let me wash my hands. Okay, so the plan is I'm going to stick this in the oven. See if that's hot over there. It is a little bit. Which is awesome because then it's one pan. So I've got one pan for the pasta and one pan for the chicken. Okay, let's see how long that'll take. Okay, so it says 8 to 10 minutes or until chicken reaches 165, which is great because if you make the chicken thin enough, then it cooks really fast. So, I mean, that took me 20 minutes, like beginning to end, plus 10 minutes of cooking on a Monday night. Like, how awesome is that? So, I will put the recipe in the comments. I don't know that my pasta, yeah, it looks pretty close. I think maybe what I need to do is show you my pasta lid because it needs just another minute and I was going to cut off. So right here we've got the colander, like the little holes there, and then there are bigger holes on the other side. So like how cool is that? So I can dump my pan and not have to use another one. So I hope that you have a wonderful day. And if you're on here and you are a host, I think I just saw Juanita pop up. So Juanita is hosting. If you're a host, say that you're a host. If you are a guest, say you're a guest and who your host is. If you're in VIP, make sure that you tell me that you're in VIP. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful Monday. Bye, everybody.